after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 long years of dating, Malvin and Regina finally decided to tie the knot. Let's meet our lovely couple.
Hi, we are Mr. and Mrs. Mbonani. I am Malvin Mbonani.
And I'm Regina Mbonani.
And we have been married for around 10 months now. However, we dated for almost 9 years. That is 8.5 years. So we have had our humps and bumps here and there. It was not an easy journey, but we thank the Lord very much that today we are together. Yeah. And she is now my lowly wedded wife. And I'm very grateful for that. I don't know if he is grateful or not.
Yeah, indeed, I'm grateful. We are a happily married couple. It took us a very long time for us to be what we are right now. We thank God for that.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy task to win my wife's heart. It was a very, very difficult assignment for me. It took me around 2 months, 2 weeks for me to get the answer that I had always wanted to hear in my ears. I was meeting with her almost every day, but things were not running along my way, so it was a hectic time. I don't know what was happening there. Maybe she loved me, but maybe she was not strong enough to tell me that she loved me. Is it?
Well, the day I was proposed, we were actually in the dining hall at a boarding school, and I didn't know what to say. I loved him, but I didn't know how to tell him. So I just told him that, yes, I love you, and I ran away.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. I would persuade, I even had to hire some friends of her to intervene for me, but it didn't work. To a certain day when I was just about to quit, that's when she just told me that she loved me too, and she just vanished into the air.
Well, the wedding was super. It was nice for both of us, I think. I personally enjoyed the vibe that had the people, and also I was pleased with the decor, especially. Yeah, the venue was well decorated, and I also loved the dressing. The people were dressed well. It made the wedding perfect for me. Generally, I can say that's what was the best for me on the wedding day. And my husband was also dressed
like an angel. Yeah, basically I was very happy on my wedding day, given that I had put so much into it. I had to run around like a madman, and she was just relaxing at her home, just calling me, what is taking place, has this been done? And I was running all over the show. Even to the day I was saying, like, tomorrow is the wedding day, I was still driving, making ends meet. So by my wedding being a success, I was very, very jovial on the wedding day, because I knew that I had fulfilled my dream. I had married the wife that I had always wanted to have in my arms, like I'm having right now. So I give all the glory to God for the best wedding of 2015. And even the marriage officer said this is the best wedding in Southern Africa for 2015. So that was very good for me.
I don't think I'll change anything. The husband is perfect. I will never dare to change. And the wedding, it was perfect. For me, it was perfect. I can hardly think of anything I could change. Maybe the starting time, because the day seemed shorter for me. It seemed as if the wedding took only about 5 hours, yet it started from 8 o'clock up to 5 o'clock. So yeah, I think that's what I can say.
Yeah, I agree with her. If I could change anything, maybe I would make it a wedding week, not a wedding day, because I really enjoyed it, and the moment just came like 5 minutes to me. It was too short for me because I was enjoying myself. Everyone was enjoying, and when the closing prayer came, no one was expecting it, and people even booed because they still wanted to proceed. So I wouldn't change anything besides time. The wife, there's no way I can opt for that change. Never.
Zita Baba nemwana komana nemwe ya mutsvene. Ndinoda kutenda Mwari zvikuru mudiwa wangu Tinashe Malvin
sechiratidzo chokuti ndinokuda mudiwa wangu Malvin Tinashe.
Ndinoti nezvese zviri mandiri.
Ndinoti nezvese zviri mandiri. Muzita raBaba
nemwanakomana.
Will Malvin outsmart Regina, or will Regina have the upper hand? Let's find out on the couples game.
Name something I have done but would like to try. I have never done but would like to try. What is it?
Playing the guitar.
Yeah, she said I would love to try a guitar. That's very true. I have a passion for the guitar, but I haven't played it yet. However, I would also want to act, like in a film or a drama. I think I have what it takes to do that. So she is correct, but I'm just adding to her answer that I would like acting. I haven't done it yet, but it's something I have a passion for.
What annoys me?
Yeah, what a very difficult question with many answers. I know that you don't want to be lied to. It annoys you.
He left on something. Yeah. I don't really like some of his friends. Yeah, but maybe he doesn't know it, because sometimes I just pretend as if everything is right.
On my off day, what would I rather spend my day doing?
At a church practice, maybe playing the keyboard.
It's okay. She said I would go for church service. Yeah, that's partially correct, but I would rather go for a music practice, or I would rather stay home watching television, because I love the two. They run concurrently, the TV and the keyboard per se, because I love music.
What food would I order at a restaurant?
Chicken and chips.
It's correct, but I'm shy about it. He often laughs at me for that because he says it's old-fashioned, but I like it.
If our house were on fire and I had the chance to grab only 3 materials, what would they be?
Our marriage certificate. And maybe our certificates, our academic certificates, because I know you value them a lot. 3.
Yes.
And maybe your passport.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually run for the certificates like she said. Maybe I would choose the TV as the first priority, and maybe any other things that will be running on my way, because it will be a matter of emergency. There's no way you can run to the bedroom and take a certificate, then you want to say I want to run to the dining hall to take this. We will be on fire, so it will be an emergency thing. So I would opt for the TV and any other small objects that might be lying there on my way.
What was the last romantic thing I did for you?
The last.
Yes.
Yeah, when you baked those scones, I had promised you to bake for me when I was still at work. And you put in some laka so that they were very delicious. I think that was the most romantic thing, the latest romantic thing that you did. Yes, because there are very many romantic things you do, but that's the latest one.
Truly speaking, I think he was correct on the scones thing. Yeah, he loves them. So whenever I want to drag his attention, I just bake the scones.
Regina, I would want to let you know that I love you very, very much, and I know that you know that, because ever since the day I made a commitment that I would be by your side every day, I have stuck to that promise, and I am still promising more, that I will be with you for the rest of my life, as long as oxygen passes through my nose and lungs. I'll be there for you. I'll be there when you need me. I'll be there every day. I'll try my best not to move away from you. After such a long distance relationship, we have been through challenges, because a long distance relationship calls for too much. It's constituted of too much pain when you can't have your loved one close by you. But right now I'm promising to be available. If it means opting or sacrificing other life opportunities just to be with you, I'm ready to do that for you.
Hi Tinashe. I just want to appreciate you for everything that you've done for me. I really feel that you love me, and sometimes I even feel that I don't love you enough, because your love is just but too much. I love you very, very much. I cannot even, I don't know how I can express it so that you can actually know the love I have for you. And I promise that I shall always be a very faithful wife of yours. having sailed all these years. Yes, in marriage it's been 10 months, but we've been together since 2007 up to date. So I don't think there's anything that shall take my mind and my heart again besides you. I just want to assure you that through thick and thin we shall be together.
The longest part of your wedding day is your wedding reception. I mean, during the reception, there's a lot that happens. You know, that's when you have the speeches, that's when you have the toast, that's when you know the bride throws the bouquet. That's when you have your dinner, or is it going to be at lunch, depending on how you set out your program. And it's really important that you look for something that, first of all, you like, and something that is comfortable for you and your guests. I normally do what we call a 3-count, reception venue selection. So as you do your selections, at least take a site visit to 3 venues, evaluate them. I think the evaluation process is what determines whether you're going to go with that venue or not. During this evaluation process, the things that you need to ask your venue coordinator would be the specifications of the venue. You'd obviously look for venues that are more appealing to you, depending on the theme and the feel that you want to create for the wedding day. So you can have a castle, if possible, wine lands, a garden reception, which is what I've seen trending mostly. So as you're taking a look at different venues for your reception, it'll be important for you to look at the structure of the venue. Does the venue come with a permanent structure, or does it come as a background? Do you need to get a marquee for it? And also look at the specifications as to what the venue is providing. Are there any tables? Are there any chairs? If there are any tables and chairs, you need to look at what specific tables and chairs the venue is offering. Another important thing that you need to look at is the power accessibility at the venue. Things like water, things like electricity, things like a backup plan in case you don't have water or you don't have the regular electricity available on the day of the wedding. Is there a backup generator? And if not, you have to make sure that you prepare yourself for such instances. Always have a second plan. In terms of the reception aesthetics, it will be also really important for you to know exactly the points of setting. So for instance, you need to know which side you'd want your top table to be, which side you'd want the buffet area to be. Always have a say as to what you actually really like. Always have a say from the venue coordinator, because most venue coordinators have a really good insight as to what works at the venue and what doesn't. Apart from how the venue aesthetics or what the venue provides, and how the venue looks, you need to consider the distance from the city center, per se, which is what we normally use as a landmark or a ballpark, to where your guests will be coming from. I know you do have a lot of guests coming in from different suburbs and things like that, but the city center would be then your what you'd then call your meeting point, or your calculation as to the distance of where your venue is. So from the city center, it'll be considerable for you to calculate or see if your venue is within the access for the people that you're actually inviting for the wedding. I mean, if you have a lot of people that are going to be using their own transport, it'll be okay for you to let them drive at least 60 kilometers away from town or 40 kilometers away from town. But if you do have a lot of guests that are coming that are using the alternative transport, which would be public transport, buses, taxis, etc., you need to consider the distance between their point of pickup to your reception. So you have to remember that it's really important for you to select a very comfortable and suiting reception venue for your guests, because this is going to be the longest part of the wedding. Thank you for watching. This is Kevin, your wedding planner.
You know, when we get married, there is one thing that most, if not all of us, in fact, all of us know that we are going to be this thing. We see ourselves doing it, and that's the reason why we're giving ourselves to this man or this woman, because we just know that we are going to be this thing. It is called faithfulness. And the thing about faithfulness is that a lot of people only ever think about it in one dimension. When we talk about faithfulness, most people think about it in terms of sexual faithfulness or intimacy with only one person. And that's a great definition. And whilst it's a great definition, we have to understand that that's only the first rung of faithfulness. The world of faithfulness is built of so many facets, and you have to be careful that you don't start opening doors to being unfaithful to this person that you have professed your love for and professed to be with for the rest of your life. Let me show you a few things, and I want you to assess what you call faithfulness and see if you're still there. And I'm only going to show you a little bit because there is a whole world of what could lead you to unfaithfulness. The first level of unfaithfulness, or the first door that could lead you into unfaithfulness, is lying to your spouse. Do you see that? The thing about lying is that we try to classify our lies to feel better about what we're saying to them. So sometimes we call them little lies, or white lies, or pink lies, or blue lies. Whatever color you give them, a lie is a lie. If you were sitting at the office and you knew you were supposed to be at home at a certain time, your wife calls you and says, "Sweetie, where are you?" And you're sitting at your desk still working, but you go ahead and say, "I'm driving out of the car park right now." Now, it looks like a harmless lie, and there's no such thing as a harmless lie. A lie is a lie. The problem with little lies is that they tend to grow up. They lead you on to bigger lies, because get this, if you can lie about where you are, then it is possible that you can lie about who you were with. And so lying is a form of unfaithfulness, because we have moved away from where we said we would be concerning the relationship. We said we would be truthful. We said we would be transparent. And when we start to lie, we start to move into a level of unfaithfulness. A second place to assess whether what you have is faithfulness or not is this: mocking your spouse. That's right. When you mock your spouse and make fun of them, maybe make fun of their physical appearance, or maybe make fun of their failure to achieve something, or maybe make fun of an incident or an event that took place in their life, you start to demean and to degrade and to tear down the person that you love. And instead of being a beam or a pillar of support that your spouse can lean on, you have become a sledgehammer that's beginning to tear them down whenever you mock them. You want to keep away from mocking your spouse, particularly in the company of your friends or the company of your family, because you start to expose them. You start to let everyone know that it's okay to mock your spouse, and yet it's not okay. And when you mock somebody, it's actually easy, as you continue to say it, to start believing your own mocks. Number 3, resentment of your spouse. When you resent somebody, you become bitter about them or bitter towards them based on something that they did or something that they said. You are not happy about it, they refuse to change their position, or you just felt that they did you wrong and didn't deal with the issue. You become resentful. You start to be very cynical about them. You start to hate them, very slightly to start to hate them. For example, you will be in the company of someone that knows your spouse, in the absence of your spouse, and when somebody speaks about them and they speak something positive, you automatically jump in and replace it with something negative, and you say, "No, they're not that good," or "No, they're full of nonsense." And it's resentment, and it comes out at the most unexpected of places. It comes out in the most unexpected of ways, and it causes you to start moving away from the commitment you made to think the best, to say the best, to show your spouse in the best of light in as many circumstances as you can. So those 3 levels, I've only given you 3. There's a lot more. But number 1, lying to your spouse is a step towards being unfaithful. Number 2, mocking your spouse is a step towards being unfaithful. And number 3, being resentful of your spouse is literally reaching out for the door of unfaithfulness and beginning to open that door, because if you can resent them, it means you can hate them. If you can hate them, it means you can harm them. And if you can harm them, it really means you can no longer love them. This is Ivan Mawadide. I hope that I've helped you as you've watched Wedding Diaries today. See you again soon. Bye-bye.